Okay, let's just get right into it. You've seen this happen, right? You're in a meeting, someone starts to speak, and bam, the whole room just quiets down and listens. It's not always the person with the fanciest title, but their words just land. They have this gravity. So what if you could bottle that? What if you could actually engineer that kind of influence anytime we wanted in any room you walk into? That's exactly what we're breaking down today. We're going way beyond just knowing your stuff. We are talking about the science of signaling what you know. This is the architecture of sounding like the expert you already are.
The reason some people are instantly credible isn't superior intelligence. It's a deliberate, measurable framework for communicating value. We'll show you the 3 linguistic and structural cues that instantly make you sound like the authority in any room. Now, this right here, this is the core paradox we're digging into. Credibility isn't some magic you're born with. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's a performance. And it has a system. The crazy thing is that your influence has way less to do with the substance of what you know and almost everything to do with how you signal it. It's about making sure the value you have on the inside is seen and felt on the outside. And we're going to show you exactly how to build that signal.
So let this sink in. You need to start thinking of yourself as an architect. Your credibility isn't just handed to you with a diploma or a job title. I mean, sure, those things get you in the door, but they don't command the room. Real authority is something you actively build piece by piece in every single conversation. We call this authority positioning. It's about consciously engineering how people perceive your expertise. You're designing the blueprint. And that simple shift in your thinking, from hoping people see you as credible to designing an architecture that guarantees it, that's the key to everything we're about to cover.
But, before we can build anything, we have to see what we're up against. There's this invisible barrier that holds back so many smart, talented people. It's like a wall that stops their best ideas from ever landing. So first, let's diagnose exactly what that barrier is.
Here is the entire problem on one slide. Look at the left side. That's you. You've got deep knowledge, real competence, you've done the work. But now look at the right. That's the signal you're sending out. And this is where it all falls apart. When you use hedging language, saying, I think, or maybe we could try, or my favorite, this might be a dumb idea, but you are actively sabotaging your own expertise. A messy, chaotic structure makes your ideas just plain hard to follow. And things like uptalk, where you end a statement like it's a question, it just screams uncertainty. We call this mismatch signaling failure, and it is the #1 reason truly competent people get overlooked. So why is that signaling failure so bad? Because it creates the state in your audience's mind, cognitive overload. When you're rambling and sound uncertain, you're not just sharing info, you're basically handing the other person a jumbled up puzzle with half the pieces missing and telling them to solve it. Their brain can't handle sorting through all that noise and trying to figure out if your idea is any good. So what does it do? It takes a shortcut. It makes a snap judgment about you. And this is that shortcut. The psychologist Daniel Kahneman calls it System 1. It's our fast, intuitive gut reaction brain. It's designed to save energy by making quick judgments. So when your listener's brain picks up on those low-status signals, the hedging, the rambling, it doesn't stop to think. It just makes an instant automatic leap. Low-status cues mean low competence. It's a subconscious thing. They don't even know they're doing it. Our entire goal here is to interrupt that faulty signal and replace it with one that just screams competence from the get-go. All right, so we've diagnosed the problem. Signaling failure leads to cognitive overload, which triggers a bad snap judgment. So let's get to the solution. And I'm not talking about fluffy advice, like just be more confident. This is a precise engineering blueprint to completely rebuild your communication signals. The whole system is built on these 3 pillars. That's it. First, linguistic precision. That's about the exact words you choose to sound certain. Second, structural simplification. The order in which you present your ideas to create absolute clarity. And third, proof point anchoring, how you link your advice to proven results. You master these 3 things and you literally change how people see you. Let's break them down. Okay, rule #1. This is the fastest way to boost your authority. You have to wage a war on verbal uncertainty. I'm serious, this is non-negotiable. Get rid of phrases like, I think, I feel, I guess, or maybe we could. I know they often come from a good place. You want to be collaborative, but all they do is signal that you're not even sure about your own idea. From now on, you use clear declarative sentences. So instead of saying, I kind of think we should target the new market, you say, the next strategic step is to target the new market. See the difference? One is a suggestion asking to be shot down. The other is a strategy that demands to be heard.
Now, rule 2 is all about structure. Here's the thing. Amateurs try to prove they're smart by dumping every single detail on you. They create this maze of information that just leaves you confused. But true masters, they prove their expertise through simplicity. So structural simplification means you organize everything you say around one single core idea, and then you deliver it in a simple, logical 1, 2, 3 sequence. This is huge because it makes your message incredibly easy to follow, and it signals to everyone that you know the topic so well you can boil it down to its essence. Simplicity is the ultimate flex. It screams mastery. And the final rule is what ties it all to the real world. Authority isn't just sounding confident, it's about being seen as someone who gets results. Anchoring means you always connect your advice directly to a verifiable result, a proof point. So instead of saying, we should reorganize the team structure, which just sounds like a risky opinion, you say, based on the pilot program that increased our productivity by 20%, our next move is to reorganize the team structure. The idea is the same, but the second one is anchored in success. It primes your audience to agree with you because you've already proven it works. Okay, so that's the what. You've got the 3 rules. But to really lock this in, you have to understand the why. What's actually happening in your listener's brain that makes this system so powerful? Let's pop the hood and look at the psychological engine.
First up, we're basically hacking a cognitive bias called the halo effect. It's a powerful mental shortcut. When you project one clearly positive trait, like the confidence that comes from using precise, declarative language, the human brain automatically assumes you have other positive traits. They subconsciously think, wow, they sound so clear and confident, they must also be really smart, competent, and trustworthy. Your confident delivery creates a halo that makes everything else you say seem better. It's a way to fast-track trust. And check this out. This visualizes what's happening with structural simplification. That bar on the left, that's a typical complex pitch. It puts a huge mental strain, a massive cognitive load on your audience. You're making their brain work hard, and frankly, our brains are lazy. Now look at the right. Our simple, structured approach slashes that cognitive load. It makes it easy for them. And here's the kicker. Their brain mistakes that feeling of ease for a sign of your expertise. They think, wow, this is so easy to understand. This person must really have their act together. You make it easy for them, and they repay you with credibility.
And finally, this whole thing isn't just about how others see you. It's about changing how you see yourself. There's this cool concept called embodied cognition, which basically says our actions change our feelings. So when you start acting with authority, using stronger language, standing taller, you actually trigger a neurochemical shift in your own brain. It can literally reduce your stress hormones. This is what makes the performance feel real and authentic, not fake. You're not faking it till you make it. You're embodying a more authoritative version of yourself until it just becomes you.
Okay, enough theory. Let's make this super practical. This section is all about action. These are the exact steps you can use in your very next meeting, like today, to get an immediate result. We're coming right back to our 3 pillars, but now we're treating them like a tactical checklist. The verbal filter for your words, the structural blueprint for your thoughts, and the proof point anchor to ground your advice. Let's do this. All right, your first mission, starting right now. Install a verbal filter in your brain. Its only job is to catch and delete those weak hedging phrases. I think, sort of, kind of. And to make it easier, use the 1-second pause. When someone asks you a tough question, don't just jump in. Stop. Take 1 full second. Breathe. That tiny pause does 2 amazing things. It gives your filter time to work so you can come back with a strong, declarative sentence. And even better, that silence creates gravity. It makes people lean in. It gives your words weight before you've even said them. Action number 2. From now on, every time you need to explain something, in an email, in a meeting, whatever, you use this exact blueprint. Problem, solution, next step. First, state the problem we're all facing. Simple. Then, present your solution. Concise. And finally, this part is critical, end with a clear, specific next step. This little formula is so powerful because it's how our brains are wired to think. It's a natural story. Conflict, resolution, action. It automatically positions you as a leader who doesn't just talk about problems, but actually solves them. And this quote just perfectly captures the third and final action, the proof point anchor. Just listen to how powerful that is. Before you even say what your idea is, you've anchored it to a massive win. The approach that cut our budget by 15%. That just vaporizes skepticism. It primes everyone to listen because you're not just sharing another random idea, you're building on proven success. Start your most important recommendations with an anchor just like this.
So we've walked through the problem, the blueprint, the psychology behind it, and the exact action plan. Now let's bring it all home and lock in the single biggest takeaway from all of this.
If you forget everything else, remember this: your credibility, your influence, your authority, these are not things you just wait around for someone to give you. They are things you build. They are the direct result of a deliberate design process. You are the architect of how you are seen and heard. So stop hoping your expertise will just speak for itself. Start building the structure that guarantees it.
So let's lock this in. Authority positioning solves that frustrating problem of signaling failure and being undervalued. And why this all matters is that it gives you a systematic way to instantly command influence and expertise. By mastering linguistic precision and structural simplification, you're tapping into the brain's own shortcuts. You're using the halo effect to your advantage, and you're making it easy for people to listen to you. You're not just sharing ideas anymore, you're making them impossible to ignore. Because the reminder here is that productivity isn't about doing more. It's about mastering systems that make focus effortless.